Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Watkins from the Black Business School. I wanted to talk to you about something that I was recently reading that I think could be helpful to you in terms of understanding how you want to build your business if you decide to go into the field of technology. There's an article here at tech.co which basically says that in America, the average tech engineer, or the average tech entrepreneur is 31 years old, and most of them did not major in science, technology, engineering, or math, otherwise known as STEM. And the reason I think this is very interesting is that it kind of shows you that some of these stereotypes you've been led to believe about what it takes to be successful with an online business just isn't true. That basically the majority of people who are able to start these entrepreneurial ventures and do very well they're not super young. They're not in like 22, 23, but they're also not very old, although you can be any age range and create a strong tech company. So that's why the age of 31 I think is kind of interesting and significant. It also says if you're young, give yourself time. It may take time for you to evolve into what you want your company to become. But then also if you're older, you're not out of the game. This is just a young man, young woman's game. This is a game that everybody can play. I didn't personally become a tech entrepreneur until I was about almost 40, maybe 38, 38. That was when I really started to get my feet underneath me, and so there's a lot of opportunity for everybody. The other thing that's really striking to me about this result is that it kind of shows that if you're talking about trying to build these businesses, the thing that matters is not so much the piece of paper you have in your hand. It's really your skill set. It's really, how accurately applied your skill set is to what it is you're trying to do. A lot of people think that simply having a college degree is going to guarantee more economic opportunity, and I can just say, in my experience, that just doesn't apply. I personally could care less when I meet students and talk to people who want to come work for me. I don't really care if they went to college or not. I don't care what they majored in. I don't care what their grade point average was. I don't care where they went to school. It doesn't mean that those things can't matter, but those things only matter to the extent that they translate into marketable and capable skill. So, for example, if you went to Harvard for 4 years but you can't do anything, then I'm not going to hire you over somebody who didn't go to Harvard who can do exactly what I need them to do. So what I would encourage you to do is when you're educating yourself, whether if you're older and you're thinking about going back to school, make sure you ask yourself, okay, I'm going back to school, but why am I going back to school? What will going back to school and paying $40,000 in tuition money, what will that give me that I can't get at a lower cost, say on the internet, taking a class that's maybe $100 a month or something like that? And then the other thing is ask yourself, is going back to school the most efficient way for me to learn what I need to learn? Because for example, if you go back to school, you're going to be in somebody's training program where they're going to teach you what they want you to learn or what they think you need to know, whereas that may not be consistent with what you need to know. In fact, Google and Yahoo and Apple and all these tech companies have come together and actually formed universities where they're educating people to have the skill set that will identically match exactly what they need people to be able to do when they graduate. So those people are prepared to come and work for these companies once they're done. And I think that that's pretty significant, pretty important. So if I were you, I'd take a look at, kind of read the writing on the wall. Make sure you adjust to the world. Make sure that you get the skills you need to do what you got to do. And take the shortcuts. I'm not saying skip college. I'm not telling anybody to do that. But I will say that when a young person tells me they're skipping college, they're going right into becoming an entrepreneur, I don't look at them and say, oh, no, that's a bad decision. I look at it and I say, okay, explain what you're thinking, where this is going, how this is going to work. If the explanation sounds good, then I might say, okay, well, you know what? Maybe you should give it a try. And then you can consider going back to college later if it doesn't work out. So those are my thoughts on this. I guess that's it. So I'll talk to you guys soon. You take care. Bye-bye.